Power Panda coming back to you with video 2 of Divergent Paths. This begins the actual storyline of the game, and I am going to, at this point, narrate the cutscenes and then give developers commentary during the gameplay segments. Where am I? Whoa, I only just removed the crown. Head hurts. Easy. This is the slave crown. The others had complete control over you while you were wearing it. I can't remember a thing. Don't worry, it'll all come back to you. In time, that is. A mysterious young woman, controlled by the Empire and born with the gift of magic. Terra. We're going to accept the default names for all characters. My name is Terra. Impressive. I've never heard of anyone recovering this fast. Open up! Give us back the girl in the Empire's Magitech armor. Open this door. We want that girl. She's an officer of the Empire. Empire? Magitech armor? Look, I have to get you out of here. I don't have time to explain. Over here. Okay, before we follow him, let's talk about a couple of changes. First, you notice that his name was Arvis, and not Old Man. Arvis becomes a more fleshed out character in this hack, and I wanted to make sure that you knew who he was from the start. There was no reason to call him Old Man. Second, you'll notice that we are cooking it along here. The sprinting is the default in the game, and if you hold the B button, you can walk. Sprint shoes have been removed. They've been repurposed into other equipment that I'm excited to show off when we get there. Second thing you'll notice is in the talking dialogue is compressed a little bit. I removed 1 pixel of space in between each character, just to make it a little easier on the eyes to read. However, I didn't do any font changes because I thought that the font was part of the game itself. Next, you'll notice that I always do number 4. The windows that we do not start with the original blue window. I've moved that to slot 8. This window was my favorite from the original. And the other windows, there were some in there that I could never see myself using. So we imported some windows from Chrono Trigger. Number 2 is from Chrono Trigger. I think there's 4 of them total that are from Chrono Trigger. I can't remember exactly which ones. But with all of the options here, you should have something that you could actually see yourself using. This one's my favorite, and so we're going to use it. Okay, let's go. Make your way through the mines. I'll keep these brutes occupied. She's up there! Reminder, though I mentioned this in the first video, is that the encounter rate has been dropped. Now, you're not going to know it by the awful encounter rates that I've been getting here, but you'll be encountering 33% less encounters over the course of the game. Causes your characters to grow a little bit more slowly. I'd say for every hour that you play, you're probably, well, maybe 2 hours, you're going to be a level behind what you were in the original game. Nothing else has been changed about the difficulty. You're just going to be less strong when you get there. Okay, let's save. Definitely want to get these items while we're here. Phoenix down. And next thing to note is this magic menu. In the original Japanese game, the magic menu had 3 columns. Now, because English text just takes up more space, that had to be dropped to 2 columns in the American and European versions. However, the code that goes in there and scrunches up the magic list, taking away lines where you just haven't learned the magic yet, kept the 3. They forgot to program that to 2 columns. So you would, in the original game, you would get some really strange arrangement of magic when you hadn't learned much yet. So I have dropped that to 2. Okay, got her. And dead. Shortest ROM hack ever. My sweet little magic user. With the slave crown, I'll practically own you. Yep, that's my Kefka voice. Now, interesting thing, these soldiers right here are an actual enemy in the game, and they do have an attack script. The attack script says when their turn comes up, do nothing. And that's the only purpose, is to make this scene work. Whee, good. Burn up everything. And Kefka, in that scene, you only ever see him look up or down in the Magitech armor. You never see him look left or right. They never created those sprites. So if Kefka is on a chocobo or in Magitech armor, he will glitch out. We stand on the brink of a major breakthrough. In the days to come, we'll witness a total revival of magic. It is our destiny, and ours alone, to take this mystic force and claim what is rightfully ours. Now, the code actually has all of these guys putting their arms up at the same time, but the Super Nintendo can't process that many NPCs simultaneously, and so you get a little bit of a staggered effect. Hurrah! Long live Emperor Gastal! Took you long enough. How goes the robbing and plundering trade? Clutching his pearls. Treasure hunter and trail-worn traveler searching the world over for relics of the past. Lock. I prefer the term treasure hunting. Ha! Semantic nonsense. There's a huge difference. Anyway, were you the one who sent for me? Yeah, there's a girl I'd like you to meet. This better not have anything to do with that Magitech riding Imperial witch. But it does. Imperial troops are pursuing her even as we speak. This town is no match for the Empire. Our independence can only be restored if we join forces with the Returners, an underground resistance movement. That girl wasn't responsible for her actions. We must get her to understand our dilemma. Alright, I think we'd better help her. Agreed. Make your way first to Figaro, and then talk to the king. Now we gotcha! Wonderful. There's a whole bunch of them. Kupo! Moogles, are you saying you want to help me? Mm-hmm. Kubo. Alright, now anytime you fade to black for an explanation, you used to switch back and forth between Mog and Kappa, and the only reason that it would do that is that Kappa was used for battle events, and Mog was used for field events. I have made that switch to Kappa for all of them. Use Moogles to save Terra from the guards. Need more information? No, we got it. Okay, now let's look at a change here. If you look at the equipment for all of the Moogles, you will see that they have some new items. So the Shuriken is equipped to Kupop. That is going to be a Shadow exclusive item later on in the game, and it is a new type of item that, no, it's not going to show us here, that pierces defense. So that was added by the hacker Dreken, and I added that to Shadow's 3 special weapons. You will also note Full Moon. There, a couple of the item logo or icons have changed. I just decided to redo that so you don't have that diamond for all of the special equipment. So Mithril Flail, that's one of the new icons. Boomerang, that's not a new icon, but I've repurposed that for all weapons that are thrown. You'll also note that Malulu is in the party. Malulu was not actually introduced until the Game Boy Advance version. Now this battle has a couple interesting things going on. First off, when I encounter all of these guys, I have to defeat them twice. The first time I defeat this enemy pack, they're going to go back to the beginning and respawn. And that was their way of getting around the limitations of the number of NPCs, or the characters that you can have on a map at the same time. Second thing, let's talk a little bit about the Moogles themselves. The Moogles, I mean, this is just such a fun sequence where you get to play as a full party of 12 people right at the beginning. It's a great preview of what the rest of the game is going to look like. But the Moogles have another purpose. This was Square's way of covering themselves. All of the Moogles will initialize all of the character slots at the beginning of the game, so that if you manage to sequence break and get things out of order, get characters out of order, rather than crashing the game, you would just at least have a Moogle in there and they would have a name and the game wouldn't crash. I don't know if we will see this. Mog mastered his dance. Actually, can we unequip Mog? I've never tried this before. Ha ha! We're gonna have to remember to do that so that we get our Mithril Pike early. What was I saying? Yes. I don't know if we'll see this during the Moogle battle, but in order to fit all of the stuff that I've done in the game, particularly 2 more characters and 10 new spells, Desperation Attacks had to go through a little bit of a rewrite. So there wasn't room to add in 2 more Desperation Attacks. So what I did as a compromise is I made sure that every character had access to a Desperation Attack, but it's the same one. So I took the Blitz Pummel, and I made that a general Desperation Attack. Pummel, in turn, has been replaced by Sabin's original Desperation, Tiger Break, which has its own animation and graphics and all of that. Now, that means that even guest characters like the Moogles and the Ghosts will be able to use Desperation Attacks also. Oh! Maybe we will see a Desperation Attack. There we go, here we go! Named Limit. Alright, we're gonna bench these characters. Didn't even get to show off Steel yet. There are some changes to that. Okay, how are these characters doing? This is my strongest team. I'm gonna try to do it with Malulu's team. because I want to steal Mog's equipment. And we'll save a state just in case. Maybe this isn't going to work out so well. Lulu, last one standing. Come on, guys. Kurin and Malulu, you can do it. Oh, I don't think we're going to win this one. Yeah. Okay, let's just switch us to another party. Well, so much for getting Mog's equipment off of him. That's right, you hit him with that paintbrush. Go, Kushu. I decided to keep the Kushu, Kutan, Kupan rather than the more Mog-based names from the Game Boy Advance version, and that's purely a stylistic choice. I like these names better. Thanks, Moogles. We're in your debt. So glad they didn't make you play this part with the random battles. I think this switch will... Now, fun fact here, where you see the shadow of the cave on the ground, that's not actually a shadow effect. That is something that they did with the tiles. It's empty space. So they just used their palette very cleverly. Oh, I forgot to read these lines for you. Here, let's rewind. You back with us now? You saved me? Save your thanks for the Moogles. I can't remember anything, past or present. You have amnesia? A man said my memory would come back. Give it time. You're safe with me, I give you my word. Huh? I won't leave you until your memory returns. By the way, this secret entrance might be useful someday. Don't forget about it. Yep, so when you have Locke walking over that shadow, you can't actually do that except for in an event. Alright, before we do anything, classroom for the beginner. I'm not going to go through all of the tutorials, but I will show you something special. So first off, getting items from pots. Monster in a box! Huzzah! And then we'll save, just to be safe. Here's one of the other big changes from Divergent Paths. You got a Moogle wandering around saying, I've hidden 2 relics for you somewhere in this building. Use both carefully as they affect your growth. The Moogle lure will double the encounter rate to help you grow strong. The Moogle charm stops encounters to allow you to explore. Combining both will halve the encounter rate. Oh, and any character can equip them. So you get the Moogle charm right from the beginning of the game. You also get the Moogle lure right from the beginning of the game. And this allows you to just modify the number of encounters that you go through in the game. So if you want to play through the story and use a save state editor to make your character super strong, you can. If you want to go through the grinding of the normal game and have a breeze, you can equip the Moogle lure. Equipping both will half the encounter rate. Now we're not actually going to do that. We're going to come down. So you're hearing not the world map music playing right now. You're hearing the Narshe theme. And that is much more complicated than it looks like under the surface. There is a complicated event that says, based on what's going on in the game, play this music on the world map. And that came back to bite me a couple times, particularly on the trip to Crescent Island, that it forces you into hearing Windy Shores for most of the boat ride. I wanted to actually include music at that point, but it didn't work out for me. One of the concessions that you have with hacking, you don't have the source code of the original game. Okay, that is going to be save number 1, and from here we'll do save number 2. I've changed a lot about the game, but there were some things that just weren't worth the effort of changing. So wait! Hey, well it's you. Proceed. And you have to go talk to Edgar first. Go see the king. If I ever say Edward, it's because I just finished playing Final Fantasy IV, so I apologize about that. And a note about my character pronunciations in general. I do not apologize for them. I've been doing them for 25 years. If you pronounce them differently, good on you. You mean this young woman? Who do you think you are? Oh, sorry. How rude of me to turn my back on a lady, turning on the smolder. The young king of Figaro Castle, allied to the Empire and a master designer of machinery. Edgar. I am Edgar, king of Figaro. Surprised someone like me knows a king? Talk to you later. So, you're an Imperial soldier. No problem. Figaro and the Empire are allies. I've added a couple lines to this hack that explores that a little bit. Please relax while you're here. It's not in my blood to harm a lady. But why are you helping me? Is it because of my abilities? I'll give you 3 reasons. First of all, your beauty has captivated me. Second, I'm dying to know if I'm your type. I guess your abilities would be a distant third. Huh? What's with you, anyway? Guess my technique's getting a bit rusty. I suppose a normal girl would have found him dashing, but I'm hardly normal. So you'll notice with Tara saying, well, what's with you anyway, that I am using the original Woolsey translation of this. I know that there are several retranslations possible, and if anyone wants to do a retranslation of this, that's great. I will make all of my files will be available on ff6hacking.net so that you can do whatever you would like to. I'll do one echo screen just to be safe. But I think the original translation is perfectly functional, gets the point across, has a lot of charm, and I've built off of that. Here's another of our changes. So, potion, received antidote. You'll note that we do not have a noise blaster. Normally Edgar starts with one. But we have to say, mid. I'm an apprentice toolsmith. Tools are great in battle, but they can break if you're not careful. You'll want to stock up. if you're going to be gone for a while. Here are a couple on the house. We've got Noise Blaster and Bioblaster. And now we have Noise Blaster and Bioblaster. This is something, it is one of the changes that I'm expecting to be the most controversial, that tools can break. Now, I'm not going to buy too many of them right now because they won't break during the first part of the game. But, again, my design philosophy with this hack was to say what would happen if the original team were to go back and redo their work. And I think tools would have gotten a major nerf. Oops, they're all top secret. Because they're just really powerful. And they are so much better than any of the other character abilities. Edgar... Well, okay, the breaking of the tools, they don't happen every time. You have a 1 in 44 chance of your tools breaking. In the original beta release of this, that was 1 in 32. And I actually had one playtester who got tools breaking his first 3 tries. Now, the odds of that are simply staggering. It's like 1 in 32,700. But it happened. So I dropped it to 1 in 44 and added an event bit where tools don't break during the first part of the game while you're scrounging for money. Edgar has a twin brother. He was such a nice boy. You actually have to watch this scene in order to proceed. Can't skip it. Otherwise, Sabin won't have a name. Brother, what's wrong with father? What's all this talk of his successor? Are you blind? Look at how thin his face has become. What is it? Brother? Tears? Edgar's twin brother who traded the throne for his own freedom. Yes, his name is Sabin. Oh, he looked so like his father. When he ran away, he was a sweet little child. I wonder what he's like now. Yeah, the sweet little child with bulging muscles in that flashback. One of the things I wasn't able to do was add a young Sabin and young Edgar. I think that would have been fun to do, there just wasn't room in the ROM. As I was saying about Edgar, he's seen a couple other changes as well. The main thing is that, as you'll see when we recruit another character in the game, I'm not going to explain this quite yet, but he is not able to use spears. Instead, he's able to use flails, and he gains the use of the Hawkeye and Sniper. He and Locke can share those. What that does is it really brings out Edgar's build as a red mage type character. He can do just a little bit of everything. He can switch on the fly to whatever role you need him to, but he doesn't specialize in much of anything. Now, getting rid of spears, what do we have to do in order to trigger that? I forget. So what I was going to say is flails are quite powerful. A lot of people miss this because there's no item descriptions on the front. Oh, can't go down there. No item descriptions on the equip screen, but flails can hit from the back row. And so by equipping Edgar with some flails, or with the Sniper and Hawkeye, he becomes a back row tank, where he has high defense, and also pretty good attack. He's also not terrible at magic. So I think Edgar still has a ton of utility, even after taking away spears and making tools break. Well, I'll save. Then I am going to pause until I figure out how to advance this. I'm blanking at the moment. Okay, we got it. You have to see the flashback with Edgar and then go talk to him again in the throne room. Well, how do you like my castle? King Edgar, someone from the Empire to see you. Probably Kefka. Phooey. Emperor Gestal's stupid orders. Edgar, you pinhead, why do you have to live in the middle of nowhere? Now, most of this scene was actually not in the original script. They improvised it as they were creating the scene, just to give Kefka some personality from the beginning. These recon jobs are the pits. Ahem, there's sand on my boots. Yes, sir. All set, sir. Oh, that laugh. Idiots. Kefka, what on earth do... Out of my way. Get us starting equipment. Thought we were allies. What are you doing in my domain? Allies, the Emperor in this backwater 2-bit kingdom? You've been busy down south looking for more cities to destroy? That's for us to know. What brings Kefka, humble servant of Emperor Gestal, into our lowly presence? A girl of no importance recently escaped from us. We heard she found refuge here. This wouldn't have anything to do with this witch everyone's been whispering about, would it? Lies. She merely stole something of minor value. Is she here? That's a tough one. You see, there's more girls here than grains of sand out there. I can't keep track of them all. I'd hate to be you if we find out you're lying. I truly hope nothing happens to your precious Figaro. I'd say that guy's missing a few buttons. Where's Terra? Take her to her room. I'd love to chat with you, but the Chancellor and I must plan our strategy. Sometimes I hate being a king, if you'll excuse me. Follow me. Now, this is one of those times where you can totally outpace Locke because you are able to sprint, but I'm okay with that. Don't you worry about a thing. You're Locke, right? Edgar told me about you. Is it true you're a thief? Well, no, my class is adventurer, because treasure hunter didn't fit. It's treasure hunter! On the surface, Edgar pretends to support the Empire. Truth is, he's collaborating with the Returners, an organization opposed to the Empire. I'm his contact with that group. The old man you met in Narshe is one of us. Empire? But I'm a soldier of the Empire. That's not true. They were using you. Things are different now. I don't understand. What should I do? I can't tell you what to do. You don't have to decide right now. You'll soon find your way. But how will I know which way is right? And we are going to pause there. And I'll pick up next time. Thanks for watching.